Okay, good evening, friends. Welcome to the second webinar of the Mumbai Coin Society. We would firstly like to thank Mr. Pratisad Newgaonkar. He's a noted philatelist. He's written a book on uh, Indian postal stationery, and he's made available this recording for us on Zoom. Uh, so, with any further ado, I'll like to introduce Mr. Amit Mehta. He's going to speak to us today. Amit Mehta is an engineer by qualification and an industrialist by profession, a keen student of Indian history. Over the years, he has tried his hand at collecting Indian coins from various eras. He has now concentrated on collecting, studying, and researching the coins of the Mughals and the princely states located in Gujarat. He has co-authored a book on the coins of Chota Udaipur, Devgarh Baria, Lonavda, and Sund in the erstwhile Rewa Kantha States Agency of the Bombay Presidency. This book showcased coins of many rulers whose coins were never before published and corrected a number of erroneous listings. His topic today, the rupees of Ahmedabad in the name of the Mughal emperors, covers the coins issued from from the mint at Ahmedabad from the beginning of the Mughal rule in 1573 till the time the mint was closed in 1835. This period covers the coins issued when the city was under the control of the Mughals, Marathas, Baroda, and the British. Over to you, Amitji.
Uh, Thank you, Mumbai Coin Society, for this opportunity to uh, present before you some of the new, I won't say exactly new coins, but some variations in some of the Mughal coins that I have observed during my collecting of and specializing in collecting coins of Gujarat, especially Ahmedabad. That's the place where I come from. If we are all ready. I won't spend much time at the beginning. I mean, Ahmedabad, the mint had been productive even during the time of the Gujarat Sultans. But when Akbar took over Ahmedabad in 980, the mint went into Mughal hands, and from then that was the first year the minting of coins at Ahmedabad started, and it went on almost continuously till the British closed down the mint in 1252. The last production, of course, known is from 1249. No other coins after 1249 are known, but the mint was officially closed in 1252. This is a list of rulers whose coins are not, the Mughal rulers whose coins are not issued from Ahmedabad. Now we start. This is how Ahmedabad is written on these coins. A die reconstruction of a Maratha die in the name of Alamgir II. Now coming to the coins of Akbar. As I said, Akbar took over Ahmedabad in 980, and the first coins issued were the round Kalima type coins. Then came the Kalima type coins with an epithet Dar al Sultanat Shahr Muazzam. Then came the coin, very shortly, the coins with Dar al Sultanat without the epithet. Then came the square coins. In between, we had Muzaffar Shah III rebel and take over the city of Ahmedabad for a short period. And though these are not strictly Mughal coins, I have included them here as they form series. The square continue. Then we have the Kalima type coins with the Ilahi year. And then we have the Ilahi year and the month. In between, in Ilahi 47, for a few months, we have the coins with special decorated border. So here are the coins. These are the coins that were issued in 980 and 981. These are the round coins with the kalima on one side. And these were soon replaced in 981 with coins which had on the border the mint name and the epithet Shahr Muazzam. These coins were issued in 981, but also into 982. Very scarce coins of 982 are also known. In 982, these coins were changed with just the epithet Dar al Sultanate with the square design in the center. This similar design was also followed when Muzaffar Shah again took back Ahmedabad and issued coins 991 and briefly into 992. It's a very short issue in 992. Sorry. Then we have that square design ran from 987 through to 1001. Now we know Akbar had introduced the Ilahi era sometime in 990, but Ahmedabad is right 1000. We have again the Kalima coins continuing for another year or so, 2 years, but they had at that time the Ilahi date. So you have the Kalima on one side and the Jal Jalalahu legend with the date RY 37 and 38. Sometime in the middle of 38, this design was changed to the complete Ilahi era coins. And we have these coins from Ilahi 38 to Ilahi 39. In Ilahi 39, the design, the round coins were introduced, and these coins continued till Akbar, till the death of Akbar. Though in Ilahi 47, we find for about 8 or 9 months, there were these coins with the decorated design and one side octagonal design, one side square. After Akbar, when Jahangir came to the throne, first coins were issued in the name of, in his pre-accession name Salim Shah. And these coins are known as the Salim Shahi coins. These are in the first year noted with Akbar's Ilahi year 50. And then in his second year, they start with Ilahi, with the RY 2. A total 9 months issue. Thereafter, Jahangir introduced the Jahangiri coins, which are 20% heavier than normal rupees. And a little later, coins with 25% heavier weight were introduced. Sometime in his RY6, the regular rupees with Jahangir Shah, Akbar Shah were introduced. After that, we have the Muzian type coins, but these coins, the first issue, which is more or less like a transition issue, did not have the Muzian couplet on it or the Muzian word on it. Then we have the coins with Muzian Bad on it. Then comes the Zodiac, a very short, maybe 1.5 month issue of Haft Kishwar couplet, and then we have the Ilahi couplet coins. So these the pre-accession coins of Jahangir in the name of Salim Shah. Then the heavyweight Jahangiri coins, which continue from 1015 RY2 to 1017 RY3. And then the Savai, which start at 1017 and continue into 1020 RY6. This last issue is a very short issue which at best could have been minted for a period of around 43 days. Also, some year combinations are such that the issue of that is possible only for 5 or 7 days. Did somebody say something? Okay, then we have the normal Nuruddin Jahangir Akbar Shah coins. Here again, these start in 1020, and what I have observed is the coins continue up to 1022, but the coins of 1020 have a decorated border, as you can see here. I have seen coins of 2 or 3 months, all of them have this border there, which in later coins seems to disappear. So maybe there was a intention of putting this design and then later withdrawn, but only the coins with 1020 I have seen which have this design on them at this part. The later coins, as you can see, do not have any such design. This is the transition sort of issue. The same design almost as what you see on the Muzian couplet, but here there is no Muzian couplet and the date is there over the word Ahmad. This issue is only seen in month of Mihir and Aban 1022 RY8. Then in Aban of 1228, the Muzian couplet was introduced. In the first issues, we find the way Muzian is written is with a straight line here. Whereas if you see the later issues after Aban, they have the Muzian written in a different way with a curved ray. So these coins are a very short issue because you have Aban issue in this, you have Aban issue here, and you also have Aban issue here in the same year. Zodiac coins of Jahangir. Jahangir had undertaken a new experiment of minting coins. I mean, these are very important and I will not spend much time on these coins. But these are again just 5-month issue from Ahmedabad. Now, 102712. The Muzian coins are known till Burman of 102712. So the possibility of these coins having been minted would be for a very, very brief period of a little over a month. And that is why we find it extremely difficult to find these coins. And then we have these coins with the Inayat couplet. The first coin, the Inayat couplet, has RY written at this point, 13. And then we have the normal coins with the RY written here. All the other features remain the same, but the coin with the RY 13 on top, difficult coin. Nurjan, again a very difficult to find issue in Ahmedabad. The coins of Shah Jahan. Now, when Shah Jahan ascended the throne, the first coins that he issued were the Kalima type coins, where the mint name was in the bottom line and the AH date was above it. Then we had the Kalima coins with the mint name at the bottom and the date, sorry, the date at the bottom, the mint name above it. The next issue had Ilahi month on it. Then came the coins with the central square. A very brief issue in his RY31, which had a scalloped circle. And then after he was taken prisoner, and the war of succession had ensured that Aurangzeb had almost taken over power but had not started minting coins. At that time, it appears that Azam, who was on the run, came to Gujarat. He was in Gujarat for some time. When he reached Ahmedabad, the governor there permitted him to hold court. Azam did not take the seat reserved for the emperor, but he took the seat just below that and issued coin and had, he had authorized issue of coins in the name of Shah Jahan, which have the date 1069. Otherwise, 32 and 33 are no. So these are the coins. The first issue where you have the mint name at the bottom. Then you have the date and the mint name at the top. The coins with the Ilahi month on it. The coins with the central square. The coins with the scalloped circle, issued only in 1 year 1068-31, and then 1069. This is the issue which is authorized by Azam Shah after Murad had been taken prisoner by Aurangzeb. So in between these two issues, we have the issue of Murad Baksh. This is the coin of Murad Baksh, which normally sees only the date, but there are some issues where besides the date we have the legend Azhar Ma Ilahi. When Aurangzeb, after defeating his brothers, came to the throne, or rather he took Shah Jahan as prisoner, he was advised against issuing coins in his own name. And it was only a little later that the coins in his name were issued. The first coins issued 1069 Ahad to 1071, which have the mint name at top. This coin is apparently been listed in any book that I have seen. Then comes a very brief issue where the mint name is at the bottom, but the Manus is in the center line and the Julus is at the top. And thereafter we have the regular coins which have the mint name at the bottom, the Julus in the center and the Manus at the top. These are the coins where Ahmedabad at the top. Then you have these coins with the Manus in the center, the mint name at the bottom, and the Julus at the top. And then we have these regular issues of Ahmedabad, which continue right till 111951. But here too, there over this long period, we have a few variations that I have spotted. The initial coins had the date written over the Jahan out here. The later coins have the date in the Gaf here. Now, in between these two issues, again, I have seen a couple of images where we have the date at this point to the left of the Jahan, and that issues seem to be for a very brief period of 1 or 2 RYs. But since the coins of that period are very difficult to find in these RY 30s, period. Then we have a 1 year issue where you see a brief, something like a meme that is seen between the Julus. Julu and Seen, you see a meme. And then in 109123, you have a flower. Now in both these year combinations, we find the normal coins also. So why these is difficult to.
Pratisad ji, I request you to mute everybody except the speaker, please. Amit bhai, please continue.
Thanks. After Aurangzeb, we have Azam Shah having issued coins in Ahmedabad. For again a very brief period, he had crowned himself the ruler for about 2 or 3 months. These coins are known, so not spending much time on them. Shah Alam Bahadur, again normal coins, quite well known. Then we have Jahandar Shah, who was the Mughal ruler in Delhi for about 11 months. In that short period also, we find there are 2 different designs of coins, the Abul Fat couplet and the Shahid Kiran couplet. The coins with Shahid Kiran couplet are extremely difficult to find, whereas Abul Fat couplet you do come across frequently. Jahandar Shah coins have the same couplet all across his reign, but there are 2 different ways in which the couplet is written. This change is seen somewhere in his RY5. So the last, almost let's say a little over half his reign, the couplet, the design of the coin is changed on the upwards. Again, Rafiud Darjat was a 3-month ruler, but we have 2 different coins. Both are known. The coin with the mint name Zinatul Bilad Ahmedabad, and the very rare ones which have just Ahmedabad at the bottom, and in this case it is Ahmedabad at the top. Shahjahan too, again regular issues. Muhammad Shah, the last, I would say, a Mughal ruler who had some influence outside of the north. We find his coins start with the mint Ahmedabad at the bottom, but within a very short period, the name of the mint is changed to Zainul Bilad. There is no Ahmedabad on those coins, but since coins with the same date have not been found with the name Ahmedabad on it, it is presumed that these coins are from the Ahmedabad mint. These continue till somewhere in his RY7, after which again the same design comes back. Nadir Shah had invaded India and had wreaked havoc in Delhi. Though again not strictly a Mughal ruler, I have taken his coins because though he had no control on Ahmedabad, the local authorities here were in fear and had issued coins in the name of Nadir Shah. Ahmad Shah Bahadur, again regular coins. And then we have Alamgir. In Alamgir's case, in Ahmad Shah Bahadur's reign, in these last year, Ahmedabad was occupied by the Marathas, and the Mughal governors were driven out. So the last coin in the issue of Ahmad Shah Bahadur is in the name of the Marathas with the Ankush mark, which we'll come to a little later. Then in 10703, for about a year, Ahmedabad was again occupied by, this time by Momin Khan on behalf of Alamgir, or in the name of Alamgir II. And we have coins of 1070 RY3 and RY4 issued with not the Ankush but with the Mughal flower design. And these coins are attributed to the Mughals, though they were minted under the control of Mamin Khan, who was himself an independent ruler at Khamba. The coins of the Marathas. The Marathas ruled Ahmedabad intermittently between 1167 and 1231. Intermittently because there was a power struggle between the various factions of the Marathas, and for some time the Marathas the Gaikwads who ruled Ahmedabad on behalf of the Peshwa, and after some time they took over independent control as the rulers of Baroda. This is the first issue of Ahmedabad in the name of Ahmad Shah Bahadur in his last few months of reign. Then those coins continued with the Ankush in the reign of Alamgir II up to RY3, and then in RY4 again we have the Ankush. So in between for a year we had the Mughal issue, as we saw earlier. These coins are found till RY6 of Alamgir. After Alamgir, we had Shahjahan III on the throne. Coins were issued in his name: 1173, 1174, but surprisingly also in 1175. All these coins have Ahad as the RY. It's surprising why and how this has happened. Maybe the effects of the Panipat battle, maybe the local governors were not sure of who was in power. I don't know, but for 3 years with this RY1 we have these issues. The next issue again is 1176 Ahad in the name of Shah Alam II. Now that is really surprising, considering that when Shah Alam II came to the throne, he had decreed that his reign be considered bypassing the reign of Shahjahan III. So 1173 would be his RY1. And having a coin 3 years later issued with RY Ahad is surprising. In spite of looking a lot for it, I have not been able to find any coin with his date RY2 on it, though RY3, RY4, 5 are all available. Unfortunately, most coins don't show the date, so the exact time of minting is difficult to find. But we have coins with Ahad 3, 4. These continue till RY25 with the plain Ankush. Now again here, for a brief period in between, we have a coin which also shows a trident on the obverse. We have the plain coins also in the same year with RY8. As I said, since the AH dates are difficult to find, the combination exactly is not known, but for the very brief period, we have the coins with the Ankush on the obverse. The Marathas then appointed Kamvizdas to take control of the cities on behalf of the Gaikwads. And as per research by a number of people, including Shailen Bhandare and others, we find that there is a correlation between the change in the design of the Ankush, as we see here, and the change in the Kamvizdas, the governors on behalf of the Gaikwads. So this itself is a fairly long topic, so I will not dwell too deep on it, but we have these 26 to 32, we have the design with the trident on top of the Ankush. Then from 32 to 34, we have the design with the mark here. 34, 35, we have a small change with the addition of this protrusion here. 36, we have this at the bottom. In RY 39, Anand Rao, with the help of General Goddard, took independent control of Ahmedabad. So thereafter, though it was the Gaekwad who controlled Ahmedabad right from the time the Marathas took over, it was only later in RY 39, so around 1200 that or 1201 that Gaekwads became independent controllers of the city. Now, the Marathas again seem to have taken control from the Gaekwads during the RY 7-8 of that is 1230, that is during the rule of Muhammad Akbar II, where we have this coin with Nagfani added to it, and we have this Ankush, which is in 9 and 10. Now the coins of Ahmedabad under Baroda, issued between 1201 and 1231. That too sporadically, so every year it's not their issues. The first issue seems to be a very short run issue, 1214, with the word Ram on it. Now, a lot of discussions and notes have been seen where the cause of the name Ram. But personally, I am of this opinion that it was in gratitude to God, the name of Ram has been added to the coins, because for many years, Gaekwads were trying to wrest control from the Peshwas of over Ahmedabad and the revenues of Ahmedabad. But they had not succeeded. It was only in 1214 RY 39 of Shah Alam that they succeeded. Why I say this is because in the same date combination, we also have the coins with just the plain Ga. So when you have the Ga for Gaekwad on this, it would not be out of place to say that this was just an invocation to God, that He has helped them and they are grateful to God for His help. Initial coins, we had the design. Then sometime in the same year, because I have seen with 3, but without the second digit on it, the coins with the protrusion at the bottom again, but with a Ga, which indicates that the coins are issued under Gaekwad control and not under Maratha control. The coins in the name of Muhammad Akbar, now we find that for the first 4 years, there are no coins issued in the name of Muhammad Akbar from Ahmedabad. But coins in the name of Shah Alam continue to his RY 5X, which would clearly indicate that those were posthumous issues. So the Marathas had not recognized the claims of Muhammad Akbar to the throne. And the governor here continued to mint the coins in the name of Shah Alam II. But soon after, we have coins with the name of Muhammad Akbar. Then soon after, there is an added stem on the Ga. So we have coins with 3 vertical stems. In 1229 RY7, we have the coins with Ra, Ga, and then we see that after RY7, RY8, 9, 10, the coins are issued in the name of the Marathas. But again in RY11, 1, 2, 3, 1, 11, unfortunately the coin that I have got is in a very poor state. But the date and everything is clear, and it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 11. The coin with the Ga is again seen in Ahmedabad. So And it is also recorded that the Gaikwads got control of Ahmedabad from the Marathas before the British took over. The coins of Ahmedabad under the British presidency, Bombay presidency of the British East India Company. The coins were issued in two different designs, from 1232 RY11 of Muhammad Akbar to 124116. The coins have the date over the divider here. The later coins have the date just below the divider. The other designs are more or less the same. So that brings us to the end of the minting at Ahmedabad. Soon after, the British had introduced the uniform coinage, and the mint in Ahmedabad was closed down in 1835, that's 1252 Hijri. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit ji, for this insightful presentation. Does anybody have any questions for Amit ji? And we see Dr. Shailendra in the room. We see Dr. Paul Stevens, Mr. Jan Lingan. Thank you all for being here.